weakness.
Well, it is a weakness, but the fact is that he can't control it.
Well, a weakness in the sense that he has a sickness.
Right.
No, that he takes life for granted, that he would end
But come on,
life.
Pete. You know that that's a rational person speaking.
I'm saying that Artie was in such pain he couldn't bear life.
I've been in pain. Howard's been in pain. Robin's been in pain.
Yeah, well, he handles it differently than you. You're stronger, I guess, Pete.
No.
I don't know.
Is he?
Maybe.
How strong is he? He smokes pot a lot.
Well, come on.
Well, that's his
All right,
way of
anyway, I'm
coping.
not here to analyze Artie. I wish him well. I hope he's doing okay. And I feel for his mother because she's got to sit there and see her son deteriorate like this. That's not easy for a parent. So believe me, that's not easy. And this is no picnic, and it's nothing really to be picked apart, discussed, and dissected. It really isn't.
Well, that's the whole statement. Life isn't for cowards.
Right.
It's a tough, you're going to meet some things along the road that you never expected, and, it's how you cope with them that determines, the way you go.
But Pete, for us to sit here and try and analyze Artie, for you to sit there and try to analyze it, it's you're judging him, and it's
you haven't walked in his shoes.
We don't even know what's going on.
walked in his shoes.
No, you haven't. Not his. You can say that you have your issues and your pain and whatever. You haven't.
He lost his father. That was devastating. He was somebody who admired and loved his father more than even other sons that have fathers.
Well, Pete, I don't know how to respond other than to say I'm hoping that Artie gets better, and if you're a better man, then you're lucky.
I'm a better man.
Well, whatever you're saying, I'm not sure what you're saying, but whatever you're saying, I have trouble going along with it because I don't want to dissect what was in Artie's head.
How much sympathy should we really have for Artie?
That's up to you.
Look,
you should have as much sympathy as you can have.
And I say to myself, he doesn't have to be embarrassed about anything. He's living his life as best as he can, just the way you are.
Who, Pete or Artie?
Both of them.
Oh, okay. But how, I can't tell you how to react to this, Pete. I just know how I'm reacting.
It doesn't even matter how you react, Pete. You go ahead and have your reaction.
I spent time with Artie.
I know you have.
And a lot happened that I would never even say on the air.
Oh,
All
wow.
Right. Fair enough.
You two were lovers?
And I'll leave you on that, Howard.
You guys didn't blow each other, did you?
If he wants to talk to you about it, he can do that.
All right, Pete, thanks.
Bye.
Oh, my goodness. Leave us with that, will you?
Yeah, Yucko.
Hey, is Pete still there?
No, I hung up on him.
Oh, fuck that fucking motherfucker. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just fucking being a fucking jerk-off like half the other people on SFN and every other place that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. Artie's done so much for everybody, and I'm one of those fucking people, and this is just fucking awful, and...
It is. It's nothing that we should sit here and pick apart and try and analyze Artie.
Right, especially at this stage. We have no idea what's going on.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Even like in the paper, I was reading, like one guy was going, I was surprised. Perez Hilton put up a thing where he goes, Howard or Sirius fired Artie, which wasn't the case. They didn't fire him. And I just said the guy is in such a state to put up anything that could set him off and cause him to harm himself again is really not a good idea, unless you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and, I even feel guilty for all this stupid shit I said on the roast, but you just didn't see it coming.
Nah, you can't feel guilty about that, Yucko, because none of us could see this type of thing come. I mean, in a way, I have to say I always knew that this was probably going to end badly because I knew Artie was in deep trouble and he wasn't getting any help. But, what I would do is from time to time I'd check in with him. I'd say, how you doing? And I'd say, listen, are you going to see this psychiatrist? Are you going to go see this doctor that, I recommended? Are you getting some help? Oh, yeah, I'm getting help. I'm going 3 days a week thinking of increasing it to 5. It turned out it was all not true, but, I don't know.
But you know what? You actually turned to him one day I think it was after the book, somewhere between the book and now, and you said, are you okay? Are you at a point where you're thinking of doing something? And he's, no, I want to live. I remembered that so clearly.
And I remember Artie every minute was talking about, he wanted to make sure his liver was okay. And he was always going to the doctor. I'm worried about my liver. I'm worried about this. I go, he didn't sound like somebody who didn't want to live. I mean, his actions were killing himself, but in some strange way, he wanted to live.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I can name so many things he's done for me. Like, I was going through the divorce and everything. He would call me, and he didn't have to do stuff like that. And especially when my parents' house burned down, he did a free show, and hundreds and hundreds of people showed up for it. And he's just,
Yeah, listen, he's a very generous guy. He's a good-hearted guy, and the only thing that we can do as a group is to wish him well and hope that he gets some help. He's a good man. Aside from being very talented, he's just a good guy. And I feel for him. And I feel more for his mother. Because she's got to be suffering.
You got to feel for everybody in that situation because all of them, are in great pain. I can't imagine the kind of pain it takes to do what he did. So.
Oh, man.
All right,
you know what? I get a paper cut and I'm screaming.
That's what I said to somebody. I said, I hate, any kind of breaking of my skin.
Yeah. Hangnail. All right, Yucko, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Bob.
Howard.
Bob's in Comac. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Howard. How are you today?
All right.
Hey, I called a couple of times before. I got to tell you, I'm a recovering heroin addict, 13 years clean. That first year, man, let me tell you, it's the worst. I tried killing myself, and I got everything to live for. I got a beautiful family, great kids. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And that first year, I went through 5 years of psychology to try and just get my mind straight. And I can totally relate where Artie is at right now. And it has nothing to do with nobody else but Artie.
All right. Thanks, Bob. King of All Blacks, you're on the air.
Yeah, it's funny how when people call up and they go, Artie did this for me and did this for me, but they never talk about what they did for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody always measures, like, how good somebody is for what they did for them.
Huh?
Nobody never did anything for him.
It's just, but what Yucko was trying to say is that he was trying to describe how good a guy Artie is, and that he was upset with what Pete was saying. Understand? He's trying to demonstrate what kind of guy Artie was.
Yeah. But do you actually, I'm not trying to analyze him, I'm not no psychiatrist or nothing, but...
You're kidding.
Someone told me you were.
I think I am like a street kind of psychiatrist, because I don't understand somebody, I hate to put it with money, but I don't understand people that, like, can, like, have money and like, family and like me. Like, how could you ever think about doing some shit like that?
All right, well, he did. He's different than you. He's different than you.
In what way? He's young.
All right. King, this is silly.
He's not a deep thinker.
I know. I mean, I just don't understand why people are they angry at themselves or their life. I don't get it.
You are trying to analyze him.
Right.
Because, I mean...
Well, there is anger. There is anger in this. I knew... I was telling someone the other day...
Go ahead.
Well, I was telling someone the other day that I knew a guy. I didn't know the guy. My parents had friends who had a son who they told me years ago he walked in and put a knife through his own heart.
Ooh.
Right in front of the family, in front of the parents and everyone. And everyone said he killed himself right in front of them. And he said, well, that's an angry act. It was like, not only did he end it all, but he did it right in front of them as if to say, fuck you. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
And I've my entire life I've heard that story and I try to understand it. Like what was he angry at? And you know what? You don't know. But there is a lot of anger in that kind of stuff. Of course, it's angry.
Well, when I was younger, I used to threaten my mother and tell her I was going to hang myself at the front door.
Right.
So every time she walked in the house, she'd have to remember what she did to me. Now, she didn't understand what she was doing to me, but I considered it like she was intentionally doing this stuff to hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, there's anger in all of this.
But why would you, Robin, even say that to your mother? Like,
well, actually, and I don't mean to upset Robin, but that's the height of narcissism,
What?
I'm going to kill myself, and I'm going to, and you're going to feel bad you're going to feel bad and think about me all the time. I'll even hurt narcissism is very disturbing in the sense that I'm going to hurt myself so
to
that
hurt you,
and you'll never, ever forget me. It's a way of staying connected forever.
Well, do you know why I never did? I told some people this the other day. I said I would imagine what it would be like once I was gone, and it was never bad enough. That was the absolute truth.
You were afraid to be too happy.
They wouldn't be hurt enough.
All right, King, thank you.
Are you scared of dying, Howard? Like,
yes,
you know, like,
I don't want to die.
Eat well and all that stuff.
I don't want to die. Listen, first of all, I eat well and take care of myself because I want to have a good quality of life. In other words,
you don't even want to have a bad long life.
Well,
you
yeah,
want to have a good long life.
I've seen guys my age who look like they're 300 years old and they can't even walk and they're overweight.
Already breaking down.
Yeah, they're really old people. They look like great-grandmothers, and fathers. People who are, in their 50s. They look terrible. So I want to feel good and look the best I can, but also there's so many things I wake up in the day and I'm so excited to do. There's a lot of drudgery too. There are things I don't want to face, but there are things that I enjoy so much that makes me kind of get up and go, okay, we're going to start another day.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, so of course I
love it, man. I love it. I love it.
Like I like waking up in the morning and seeing the newspapers there and reading about Conan O'Brien losing his show. I like all of that. I'm a big yenta.
Well, yeah, the Tiger Woods stuff has been thrilling.
I love it.
The David Letterman stuff was exciting.
I like.
There's even this new stuff coming out about the White House, and Harry Reid saying all those racist things.
By the way, I didn't think that was that racist.
But if a Republican, they made a perfect point. If a Republican had said it, the Democrats would have called it racist.
Right, absolutely.
So it must be racist.
Nah, that's a racist thing. But
what Robin is talking about is, as long as you bring it up, there's a guy named Harry Reid, and he's a Democrat. He's the House. What is he? The House Majority something or whatever.
What? No, that's
Speaker.
Nancy Pelosi.
He's a speaker.
She's the speaker.
He's some big deal.
Yeah.
And Senator
Democratic Majority
Leader. Thank you. Senate Majority Leader, I should say. Not Democratic Majority, Senate Majority Leader. So anyway, the guy, made a statement that if Obama, and this, I'm just kind of generalizing here, I'm not the exact quote, but he basically said that Obama couldn't have been elected if he spoke like a street black guy and if he was dark-skinned.
Well, the quote was, he could get elected because he's light-skinned and he only talks like a black street guy when he wants to.
Right.
Yeah, that's
like Oprah.
Like Oprah, yeah.
And I don't know about
he has a superpower, a secret identity.
I don't know about the light-skin comment. That's completely whacked out and racist, but it's all racist. It's all based on race. But Obama speaks well. That's the only truth in his statement. It's not that he could speak like a black guy. He speaks like an intelligent man. That's why he got elected. Of course, he's an intellect. He's smart. He handled himself well in debates. He had good ideas. That's how come he won. But, the guy who is the representative for the Republican Party, this black guy, I don't know his name.
Oh, I forget. Steele.
Yeah. He went on TV the other day. I was watching him, and he said something about something, and he goes, honest Injun. And so they got him for being racist, and he goes, I apologize, I didn't know. Now he's criticizing Harry Reid for being racist, and he's going on TV saying honest Injun, and everyone's so goddamn racist and race concerned anyway. Why don't we all just get honest and say people are concerned with race?
Yeah.
They notice race. Here's the definition of a racist. When you walk into a room, you notice people's race.
That's not necessarily the case.
Oh, I was going to add to it. And you are influenced how you feel about them because of their race.
That's a preconceived notion of what that color means.
Right.
And you don't look at the person as an individual. You categorize them by their race.
Exactly.
Well, Howard, if I'm walking down the street and I see dark-skinned black guys walking towards me, I feel a little nervous than if they were light-skinned. I can't explain it, but that's how I feel.
Well, I know when I see if I'm walking alone in the street, I see anybody walking, I get nervous. I've seen women walking and I get nervous, but I'm a neurotic.